Hello everyone, welcome to Business English with Balaji, and today I'm going to talk about some of the books that I have read. I haven't read some of these, I have just heard them on Audible, or I have heard about them from someone who has actually read it. And to start with, uh, Prisoner of Secrets. This is the only fiction book that I have here, and it is written by Lata, and it is a good read. Um, so it can leave you a little emotional by the time you reach the ending of it. Um, and this one, Freakonomics, is all about some of the rarely spoken factors about economics. I haven't really read this fully, but my mother read this and she found a lot of new things about it. And this is very useful if you don't know much about economics. And the famous one, The Monk Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, is something a lot of you might have read, or at least you might have heard about it. This is also an interesting read. He also gives some kind of things to practice. Um, Easy to read, difficult to follow. And Fish Tales. This is my favorite. My personal favorite is Fish Tales. It is written by four authors, as you can see. And Fish Tales is a very interesting book. Uh, it is applicable for everyone who is a manager or an employee of any kind, or managing directors, or if you are founders of different companies. This book is all about making a workplace a great place to work. How can you make your office or your company a great place to work? And they have given some simple steps, some interesting things, how to treat work as a game itself. Okay, you don't have to treat work as something very serious. So the first, or the most important thing that they try to break through this book is that work while you work, play while you play is a wrong concept. Work itself can be play, so it can be fun. That's the whole idea that this book brings in. And little book of letting go. Again, I haven't read this fully, but my mother did, and this is all about letting go. You know, how not to give in to your emotions and make things worse for you and for other people. How to let go is what this book is all about. This is by Hug Pratha, and this is a pretty interesting book. I really loved the first part of it. Only that I have read only that, and yes, they have given a couple of interesting techniques, and they have also given you certain actions to be taken before you move to some of the chapters. So that way, this book is pretty interesting. Um, for me personally, when I have had tough time letting go, surrender has always helped. Uh, to divert myself, uh, uh, I have found it very difficult, but later, when I started reciting some devotional songs or slokas or something like that, it helped me to divert myself. Okay, well, this is a Tamil book. Uh, what is written there is emotional intelligence, and Idliyaga Irungal is the Tamil title for this book, an equivalent for emotional intelligence. So, what is the difference between emotional intelligence and idli? If that is the question, then you have to read this book by Soma Valliyappan. It's a pretty interesting one. And I had a feeling when it comes to a topic like emotional intelligence, it is better to read a book in the mother tongue rather than in some other language. I really liked it. Very lots of real-time examples are given here. Examples about some great personalities are given here. So emotional intelligence is something that you might want to read, provided you can read Tamil, of course. And this is Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. As you see, the book is pretty bulky. So I am also scared of big books. So I listen to it on Audible, but this is an interesting book too. It is very useful for the people who are in sales and marketing. It is all about how to persuade people. And it's not even about how to persuade people, it is about how businesses usually persuade people to buy things. So it talks about lots of sales techniques and so on that are used by various businesses. So if you're into sales, this can be of great help. Or if you want to know about the kind of techniques that salespeople use and you want to make smart choices when someone approaches you, then also this is a very useful book. Yeah. All right. I read this long ago. This was a gift from my uncle, Dr. Siv Subramanian, to my brother for his birthday. The Present is the title of this book. It is by Dr. Spencer Johnson. Yeah, yeah. It's all about living in the present as the, and at the top you see he is also the author of Who Moved My Cheese. That's also on the same lines. It is about living in the present. Every minute is a gift to you. It's all about how you use it wisely. All right. And let's look at this. This is what I am reading currently, and I am a pretty slow reader, I guess. Some days it's difficult for me to motivate myself to read. How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big by Scott Adams. And he is yeah, there it goes, the author of New York Times bestseller, The Dilbert Principle. So Dilbert is a famous cartoon in the US, and he introduces a lot of business related concepts through his cartoons. What makes a business success, what are the problems, what are the possible solutions, all of that has been told through Dilbert cartoons. He's an extremely successful person, and there's a lot of interesting things that you can find out from this book. He talks about lots of experiences. He has worked in n number of fields, I could say, and he has tried many things, and he has learned something from everything that he tried. So this is an interesting book that you can definitely read. Atomic Habits. All of you might have heard of this. My mother read this, James Clear's Atomic Habits. I'm reading this book, also parallelly reading the two. And there's a lot of similarities between Scott Adams and James Clear's books. And I think James Clear also quotes Scott Adams at some places. Um, Atomic Habits is all about making small differences every day, or small efforts every day, and the result is going to be great. So if you wish to read this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear is what you need to look for. Well, so that's the list of books that I wanted to talk to you about today. So thank you so much for listening.